Here we go. We're becoming great. We are becoming great people. Living great lives. We're becoming great people living great lives. And the one key to being a great person living a great life is middah. That means your character traits. Your character traits define how good your life is. They define how great you are. So if you have bad character traits, you're full of jealousy and greed and anger and hatred and arrogance and laziness and doubt and fear and being a victim and all of that stuff, you're not going to have a good life at all. But if you're full of love and joy and sensitivity and compassion and playfulness and kindness and motivation and passion, you're going to be a great person living a great life. That's it. And brilliant. So our guide for this journey is called Orchos Tzaddikim. The ways of the Tzaddikim, because what is a tzaddik? A tzaddik, the word tzaddik comes from the word tzodek, which means right. So it means do the right thing. Always just do the right thing. And that, if you take all the character traits and you put them into good and bad, is really what's the right thing to do. Is it right to be greedy? Is it right to be angry? Is it right to be full of hatred? Is it right to be lazy? It's not getting you where you need to go. But we have said that every character trait has an amount, a measure to it. That's why a character trait is called a measure, a middah, which means that each character trait can be used for the good or can be used for the bad. It just happens to be that the character trait of laziness, 99% of the time, is a bad one. But when you're too lazy to get up and go to the club and do bad things, then it becomes a good one. You know what? I can't be bothered to go. I'm just lazy. So that in that way it becomes a good one. Whereas love is basically mostly a good one, unless you're loving things that you shouldn't be loving, then it becomes a bad one. So it's the middah, I love you. It's the middah is really how you use them, I'm using them. So today's middah is Kina. Kina. Kina means envy or jealousy. And it's one of the three things that Pirkei Avot says take you out of the world, which means detach you from spirituality. Kina, envy; taiva, physical craving; and kavod, ego, honor-seeking. If you have these three things, it's impossible to be spiritually connected with these three things. And it starts with an amazing thing. Hakina hi anaf min hakas. Kina is a branch. It's related to anger. Anger and envy, they go hand in hand. Why? Because they're both branches of ego. Ego. If you've got a big ego, then you start being envious. You don't want people to have what you should have. You don't want people to get credit that you think you should have. You don't want that. And anger is, I don't want that to happen. I have my way. This is going against me. So people with big egos, a sense of self, we said ego is really a sense of self based on what you have, what you look like, and what you do in general. What I have, my possessions, my car and my clothes and my house, what I look like, my body basically, and what I do, my job, or that level of success. People who are really fixated on that, they struggle with anger, but they struggle with jealousy. Ve'ein adam nimlad mimena. And there's no human being who is completely free of envy. There's no human being who's completely free of envy. Now, we're saying that you can work on yourself so much that you can get to that point, hopefully. A tzaddik mamish, I don't think the Rosh Yeshiva struggles with this, but maybe on a very tiny, subtle level, if another Rosh Yeshiva, I don't know, I can't even say it. I don't even want to say it, but we understand. Why is this? Because as a human, we compare ourselves to other humans. That's just what we do. And our success in life is, to some extent, compared with, there's a competition. Other people, are they richer than me, better looking than me? And so I want what they have. But we've got to understand there are two different things. There's something called chemda, and there's something called kina. Chemda and kina aren't the same thing. Chemda is, I want what they have. I want that. They've got that car, I want that car. They've got a good-looking girlfriend, I want a good-looking girlfriend. I want what they have. Kina is in a way worse than chemda. Kina is, I don't want them to have it. I don't like them. It's against them. I'm jealous of them. I'm envious of you. I don't like you. I want you to fail, and I want you to lose that thing. Whereas chemda is not necessarily like that. Chemda is more, I just want that thing. I don't care that you have it, but I want it. So Kina's worse, because Kina is, I care that you have it. That bothers me that you have it, and I don't. Yes?
Edge case, what if the person's like super evil or whatever, he like owns a lot of money or something? Is it wrong for us to put Kina on him? Like, I don't want you to have that.
No, but that comes from a different thing. That comes from just, you don't want him, you don't like evil people. But envy, if someone who's envious, it might just be he's the nicest person in the world, and I envy him. If a guy is evil, you can say, I don't want him to have it. But even then, the truth is, Judaism says, who cares what he has? Like, why don't, so let him have it. You're like, maybe if you're saying, well, I've got now a philosophical thing, why do good things happen to bad people, and that, you can do that. But in terms of, who cares what other people have? What other people have don't affect you at all. Someone's got a better job than you. What's that got to do with you? Someone does better in an exam. So what? There's literally nothing to do with your life. Just focus on what you need to do in your life. Let people have what they have. So when you have people who are dating, and everyone's dating, and someone get engaged, so everyone's kind of happy for them, but they're a little bit like, I wish that was me. Now there's two levels. One is, I wish that was me, like I can't wait to get married. The other one is, I don't want him to have got engaged. So the truth is, if someone else gets engaged, what's that got to do with you? Was that going to be your wife? It wasn't going to be your wife anyway. Did that make you not meet your wife? No, it's got nothing to do with you. So it's just it's a ridiculous thing. Because we get our sense of self based on what we have and what we look like and what we do. So if other people have, look like, and do what we want to have, look like, and do, then we get jealous of that. We're envious. We don't want that. We see that it's because everybody is going after what everyone has. Because I see success. Wow, that's a successful human being. And I don't have that. And I'm upset that I don't have that, because if I get that, then I'll be successful. I'll get my sense of self. We said right at the beginning, if I don't get my sense of self based on what I have, be, and do, then I don't need to be jealous, I don't need to be angry, I don't have these problems. In fact, the word kina is related to the word kinyan. Kinyan means to acquire something, possession. So kina means I want that. I want that thing. Now, why do you want everything you want? You want everything you want because you think it will make you happy. You think it will give you pleasure, so you want things. If only I had the job and the wife and the car and the body and the house that he has, then I'd be happy. But that's not true either, because you wouldn't be, because they're not. Very few people are actually truly happy. The people who have the best houses and the best cars, they're not necessarily the happy people. We've said this all along. The happy person is the person who is samech b'chalko. They're happy with their lot. And this is really the opposite of kina. Someone who is samech b'chalko, someone who has immense gratitude, someone who focuses on all their blessings in their life, they don't have kina, because I'm really happy. Why would I have kina? Kina, envy, means I don't have enough. I'm lacking. I want more. Whereas a happy, healthy person is someone who is very grateful for what they have. And we've said this many times, that doesn't mean that you don't have ambitions. I want more. I want to learn more. I want more money. I want nice things. That's okay. But I'm not chasing it and needing it and feel lacking without it. I just want to build, to have more. And that's an okay thing. So, is my favorite Hebrew word is histapkut. Histapkut means enoughness. Histap from the, like maspik. Histapkut is my favorite Hebrew word. Histapkut. The Avram ben Arambam in Maspik la'avdei Hashem has a whole chapter on histapkut, which means, it literally means enoughness. I'm all right, it's all right. Most people feel I'm not enough, I don't have enough. There's not enough. I'm lacking. Most people feel lacking most of their life. But someone who has his histapkut feels full. I'm like, great. Once again, I can have more, but I don't need more. So in this generation, I think it's really called FOMO. FOMO. I'm missing out. They've got stuff that I don't want. FOMO. And it's crazy. Now, once again, why do you have FOMO? Because you believe that you'll be happier if you got what they had. Everyone went to that party, and I didn't get to go to the party. But that party, is that really going to make you a happier, better, healthier, kinder, nicer, better person? Not really. So, like FOMO. When I have FOMO is when I can't daven in a minyan for whatever reason I'm traveling, I'm like, that's something worth having for I do, but I fear missing that out. I fear missing a minyan. I don't want to miss a minyan. I hate missing minyanim. I decided just a side point, and I've noticed I always do this. The first thing, whenever if my female students are dating, the first thing I say is, does he daven 3 times a day in a minyan? I think that's the level. That's where you're holding. I'll put that out there.
That's the important.
Yeah. Okay, everyone keeps Shabbos and kosher, and davening 3 times a day in a minyan shows discipline. Shows that I'm in the game. I'm part of the team. I'm part of the Jewish people. That's any guy who comes to me about dating. The first thing I'll ask him is, do you daven 3 times a day in a minyan? I think that's the shift. Okay. So what we're saying is, I should have that thing, and I'm upset that he does have that thing. I should have that thing. Ki kina mevia lidei chimud. Kina then brings you to greed and wanting and desiring more. Ki k'sha'adam eino noten et libo ma sheyesh biyadei acherim. When you don't care about other people, as eino chomed, then you're not greedily chasing and desiring and wanting all the time. I want another pair of shoes. I want more. Completely ruining your peace of mind. אבל בעת אשר ימשיך ליבו ומקנא אל מה שיש ביד אחרים, אז הוא חיימד ומתהווה. The second that you are drawn after things, drawn after it, then I want more. There's always more to have. And he goes on to say, you've got a little bit of time, that the worst thing of this, and it's very difficult for a Baal Tshuva, is sometimes you see your friends or secular people doing stuff that you now can't do, and you're like, and they seem to be so happy and succeeding so secular life, they're going clubbing, they're doing this, they're smoking, eating, drinking, women and food. I got to daven 3 times a day in a minyan. So you have, God forbid, FOMO of secular Jews. Imagine having FOMO. Do you have FOMO of a secular Jew? It should be the other way round, surely. They should have FOMO that you get to keep Shabbos and brachas. You make bracha all the time. We've said this a few times. Don't ever think for 1 second you lose out on anything in this world by being a religious Jew. You can get any job you want. You can be a therapist, a lawyer, a doctor, an art teacher. You could travel the world. You can have experiences, scuba diving, skydiving. You could ride horses. You can learn any instrument. You can eat amazing, tasty food. You can have physical intimacy with your wife. You can have money. You can be rich. You can play any sport. And you gain meaning and connection and purpose and Shabbos and tefillin and Yom Tov. And you got everything. You're not losing anything in this world. Forget next world. Next world, Pasha, unbelievable. But this world itself, what do you literally? So you know what you're missing out on? You can't watch TV on Saturday. So you watch it for 24/6. So one day away. There's always going to be a sacrifice in your life. You're always going to have to sacrifice. But you're either going to sacrifice your soul for some temporary physical pleasure, or you're going to sacrifice some temporary physical pleasure for your soul. That's it. Everything you can't do as a religious Jew, firstly, you don't want to do it. It's not good for you. It's not good for you to eat pig. It's bad for you. It's not good for you to watch porn. It's not good for you to do those things. It's actually spiritually just not good for you. Secondly, it's temporary physical pleasure. You're selling out on your spiritual greatness for a little bit of temporary physical pleasure? That's so weird. Why would you do that? You can record the match and watch it on Saturday night. It's okay. Oh no, I have to see it live. Because why? Why? It's amazing. So you never ever have FOMO. Never feel that you're missing out by being a religious Jew, because you're not. You're not missing out on anything. In fact, your life's much better. Much better.
Bacon's the worst.
Pardon?
Bacon's the worst for you. Cause I saw a video of like someone pouring like Coke and Sprite and like soda on like bacon, like raw bacon, and like pesticides would be flying out of the bacon.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
That is terrifying. Thank God I've never eaten bacon in my whole life. No pig has crossed these holy lips.
No pig has ever crossed these holy lips either.
Other things, maybe by accident. Maybe, but Definitely not by choice and consciousness. Other terribly unkosher things have passed these holy lips. But pig, not me, my friends. I was in Jeju Island off the coast of Korea. I'm not going to tell you everything I was doing, but definitely not in any way a religious Jew at all. Very, very, very far from being religious. Sitting in monasteries and temples, Buddhism, and very far from religious Judaism. We'd go out to eat together, me and my Korean friends, and we'd order beef, not kosher beef. And I'd eat that. But then they bring out the pig. I was like, I'm not eating that, man. And they're like, why not? I was like, I'm Jewish. They're like, well, I respect that. I respect you. You're a Jew. I'm the worst Jew ever. But pig, never passed these holy things. Fine. V'kina tavo machlokes. And from kina, from envy and wanting what other people have, that brings you to machlokes, to fights, to disputes and arguments and love triangles. Oy. The worst thing. Being a secular teenager, awful. Oh my goodness. And he spoke to my girl, and the girl went on. My friends, thank God I was completely pure my whole life. But my friends who had girlfriends when they were teenagers said that when the girl went out, just with her girlfriends, not with any guys, they'd be jealous. Just that there might be one person. It's a nightmare. Constantly looking, and then you're arguing with people about things, and I want that, and I'm fighting, and once you let go of chimud, once you let go of needing, desiring, wanting, especially other people's things, then you have immense peace of mind and immense presence. And remember, nothing takes away from you. Ruins your happiness.
Do you think social media ruins your happiness?
Do I think social media ruins your happiness?
Yeah.
I think for most people, yes. Because it's not necessarily what they're watching, although I think what they're watching a bit. I don't think like watching your favorite sports team doing stuff is ruining your happiness, but comparing your lives to other people's lives is ruining your happiness.
That's ruining
Okay, but it's ruining your happiness because most people just get sucked into scrolling, and that's sucking your dopamine, that's sucking your vitality, sucking your energy, so you become a dead person. It's basically you're now dead. You've lost creativity. Most people in the social media generation, they're not creative people anymore. They don't play instruments, they don't do art, they're just stuck in front of a screen. Very bad. And then it causes lots of anxiety, it's a complete distraction from your mind, it destroys things. Apart from Rabbi Dov Ber Official on Instagram, of course, that Rabbi Dov Ber Official, how are you even alive without Rabbi Dov Ber Official on Instagram?
So sorry.
And Rabbi Dov Ber Living in Tune on YouTube, and Rabbi Dov Ber Official on YouTube, and Rabbi Dov Ber Cohen, and Rabbi Dov Ber Cohen Spotify page.
You Spotify page? You do podcasts or what?
I've got over 300 shiurim on Spotify. What are you doing, dude? Get in the game.
I'm lost. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. You are now found. You once were lost. You are now found. You were blind, but now you see. Now, this is where I love Yiddishkeit. Another reason. Yitrachek ha'adam min hakina u'min ha'chemda v'lo yachmod shum davar mima shebiyad achirim. You've got to distance yourself far from these two things. Don't ever want what other people have. Now, you're human, so it's going to be hard not to do that. But all you have to do is notice when you do, and then let go. So when you see someone's jacket and you're like, I wish I had that jacket, smile at the voice in your head and say, okay, I don't need it. This is going to be one of your greatest mantras in your life. I don't need it. You see a car, oh, look at that car, I don't need it. You see a woman, not my wife. You see whatever you see, I don't need it, not my wife. Don't want it, don't care. So So you could say, I don't even want it because your neshama doesn't want it. I don't want it. The only reason you want it is because you think it will make you a happy person, but you know it actually won't. That new jacket, new shoes, new suit, new anything, new air, that's not going to make you a happy person. If you say, I want those character traits, which we're going to get onto in a second, well, let's just do it quickly now. No, I just want to say what he says. You've got to be very, very careful. This is the sensitivity of Judaism, not to cause envy in other people. Don't show off. Don't say, look at this, look at my bling, look at this, I got this, You want to actually be very, very private in your stuff. Because you know for a fact, through yourself, that people are very envious. And that's a terrible trait. So don't pull that out of people. This is another bad thing about social media, is that you're posting stuff and you know that people are going to be envious of that. So you've got to be very, very sensitive not to bring it up in other people. I'll give you one example. When people get engaged, I like to sing to them a lot. Wedding songs, I get very excited. But if I know that there are older single girls at my Shabbos table, and then there's a couple who just got engaged, I'll tell the couple before they come to me for Shabbos, I'm not going to make a big deal of the fact that you're engaged. Although I'm very excited about it. I'm not. Why? Because it's not fair on the single girls who are here. I'm very, very careful when I lead the davening to not use wedding songs. Like, if it's someone's ufruf, then all the davening I use wedding tunes for it. But in general, if I know there are single older people there, I'm not using wedding songs there because I know it causes them pain. So you've got to be very, very, very careful not to cause others pain by showing off about what you have, and just being very, very... You want to be a very extremely sensitive person. Yes?
Do you think it causes pain, or do you think it inspires them to get married?
They don't need inspiring to get married. They really want to get married.
Oh, they really want to?
Yeah.
Like, when I see a wedding, like a nice Jewish wedding, I'm like, wow, like, it makes me happy.
No, I like it. But not if you were 48 and not married yet. You'd be like, no. So you've got to be very, very careful. Very quickly, we have a bit of time. When is Kina allowed and good? It's called Kinat Sofrim. Kinat Sofrim is, I want the character traits that he has. I want the Torah knowledge he has. I want that. That's something I do want, but definitely not, I don't want him to have it. So do I have some Kina for the Rosh Yeshiva? Yeah, I wish I was on that level of humility. But I love him. And so it's a healthy use of Kina, meaning kinyan. Remember, Kina, possessing. I want to possess what he has. I don't want him to lose it. I'm not angry, I'm not upset. But this sort of Kina actually inspires you to grow. This is a good Kina. Like, now I want to get that. So what am I going to do? Bad Kina is, I'm going to do whatever I can to then get that. He also mentions, and very, very careful, not to force someone to sell you something that they don't want to sell you, or persuade someone. Don't try and pull stuff out of people that they don't want just because you want it. So bad Kina is, how do I possess that? And then you get possessed with possessing things. I'm just possessed with possessing stuff. That's what most people's problem is nowadays. They're possessed with possessing stuff. But if what you want to possess is good character traits and humility, that's a good thing. You should be obsessed with that. I'm driven towards doing that. We also have Kinas of Pinchas. Kina of Pinchas. Pinchas says that he had Kina for Hashem. You can have Kina for other people, which is, there's an injustice to what's going on right now. This shouldn't be like this. Bad Kina is, it shouldn't be like this. I should have it, he shouldn't have it. When Pinchas saw that bad things were happening in the Jewish camp, and he went and took vengeance. It's like vengeance on Hashem's behalf. That's a good kind of Kina. In fact, Hashem is called El Kana. Hashem is called a jealous God. What does that mean? It means I love you. I don't want you to cheat on me. Exclusive. It means exclusive possession. This is what Kina means. There's an exclusive possession between me and you. So Hashem says, when it says Hashem's jealous, he's not talking about the bad type of jealousy. He's saying, I love you so much that I don't want you doing idol worship. I don't want you to stray away from me, because I want there to be an exclusive relationship with you. So Kina is a great one. Everyone has it. All you have to do, this is your practical avodah. As soon as you see yourself thinking, I wish I had it, or it's not fair he has it, just smile. Just be like, okay, I see you, Kina. Hey, Kina, thanks for coming. But actually, I have his stabkut. I'm okay in myself. I'll just do what I have to do in my life. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't need that. Don't even particularly want it. I feel like I want it. But remember, I only want it because it will make me happy, and it won't. In fact, You'd be much happier if you didn't want it in the first place. We said this before with the ratzon, with the desire. Who's a happier person? Someone who wants loads of stuff and gets it, or someone who doesn't want loads of stuff? Because the person who wants loads of stuff and doesn't get it, he's definitely not happy. The person who wants loads of stuff and gets it, he's not as happy as the person who doesn't want loads of stuff. Why? Because he'll then want more stuff. Once you want stuff, you want stuff. You're a person who wants. You're possessed with possessing. This is our chiddush for today. I like it. You're possessed with possessing. So once you get that,
you're controlled with the stuff
yeah.
you want.
So once you got what you want, how long are you going to be happy and satisfied with it? 10 days, 30 days, something, and then you want something else. In general, this is how it works in the world. So someone who isn't possessed with possessing is actually just okay. They're much happier than someone who wants something, even if that person gets it. In general, they're a happier person. Who's a more peaceful person? Someone who wants a cigarette and then has one, or someone who doesn't crave cigarettes? Someone who doesn't crave cigarettes is an overall happier, more peaceful person than the person who craves and then gets. That's not happy and peaceful. So once you can have histabkut, then you stop being envious. You stop being envious. Now, it's difficult. When I see speakers, sometimes they got more views than me. Then my Yetzirah is gets a bit jealous of that. But I don't identify with that. I just say, okay, I see you. You're a little 5-year-old boy who wants to get the attention. You're doing all right. And this is a very high level of divine service, avodah Hashem. If my whole purpose in life is to bring Hashem into the world, who cares if I'm doing it or someone else is doing it? I should be happy. The more successful other speakers are, the happier I should be if I'm doing it lishma, which is I want everyone to know about Hashem. Someone once said to me, what would you rather? You makariv, you bring 5,000 people close to Torah, or someone else brings 10,000? So the obvious answer should be someone else brings 10,000, but Kina, ego, means no, I want to get the credit, I want to do it. But if I'm actually in it for Hashem, then I should be happy. Everyone else is doing well. I should pray for other people, and now I actually do. I suffered from this. About 10 years ago, I really suffered from this. So I spent a lot of time davening for the people I was jealous of. But really doing it, not jokingly. I was like, okay, please Hashem, make them successful. Unfortunately, they became so successful. It worked. I'm davening, I don't really want to though, please Hashem. I had this whole battle in my head against the ego. But hopefully I've reached the stage where I'm just part of the team. And I'm in Hashem's team, and I'm here for Hashem. Did I score the winning goal? I didn't score the winning goal. Did my team score the winning goal? Yeah, that's okay. I'm just going to play my part in the team. So once you get rid of ego and you just see I'm part of the team and there's a greater purpose, then what am I jealous of? What am I envious of? If someone else gets engaged and married, what am I jealous of? What am I envious of? You think Hashem wanted me to get married more than that? Hashem, it gives nachas for Hashem for everything. These are your two ways of really working on Kina. The first one is notice it when it arises, and the second one is histabkut. Just really focus on all the amazing stuff in your life. Shabbos.
Thanks so much.